going on, everybody? It's your boy Doc Illuminati, back with another video. So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about a lot of things that people say when they be like, God sent me a person, or they're praying for God to send them somebody in their life, right? I mean, I don't remember the last time hearing a story, not even in the Bible, where someone prayed, for a husband or a wife, and God sent that person. God was literally like, hey, look, I want you to go over here and, I want to make yourself know. I want you to make yourself known to this person because, they want you for a wife. So I want you to go over there and, be a wife to this man, or be a husband to this woman, right? I ain't never heard them stories. Am I right? So let's just keep it 1,000, right? Do God actually send people in your life? What about even period? Yeah, he sends messengers, but see, he got angels to do that, right? But do God send people in your life personally? I don't think so. I don't think he does. You see what I'm saying? It's like he's not going to take another person and use them specifically for you. Now, he allows people to be built in a certain way, and you know what I'm saying? Like, he may allow certain things, but dog, I've never seen him send a person. Now, I'm only saying that because when it comes to Satan, I've seen Satan send many women to me. You heard me? And I've heard stories of the women that I've talked to, other women that are of God. And I've heard stories where I was pretty sure that was Satan showing up in their life too. Pretty much. So Satan seems to be the one that has these people that's working, that he's actually sending in people's lives. It's like these people show up and they got a straight mission. They got a whole code to be satanic in their life, dog. It's not like when's the last time you checked and somebody came in your life with the code of God? For a man, when's the last time a woman showed up in your life with the code of the Most High? You understand what I'm saying? Displaying antics of a godly woman and wanting that godliness out of you and, preparing them scriptures for you and stuff. How many of y'all had that come by the table? Not me. So I ain't going to sit here and speak on something that ain't never happened to me. But I'm going to definitely talk about what has happened. So what I can say has never happened is I've never seen a woman of God show up and just be like, I'm here. I'm ready to start doing all the womanly things and the virtuous woman this and godly that, right? I ain't never seen that. But we all seen those ones that show up with all the antics of the devil, bro. So who's sending who? Does God really send people into your life? That's just a question. That's just something I was just thinking. And I find it to be a pattern when I realize overall statistical numbers on how many more people that are ushered into our life that is on the demonic type of time than on some godly type time. You see what I'm saying? So it's hard enough to find that energy out here anyway. But the thing is, when people think that they're going to sit there and they're constantly praying, why do you think you hear these women, they in church for 5, 6, 7, 10 years, still praying that, talking about God's going to send me this and God's going to send me that. And dog, it never happened. And then it's very embarrassing when they finally find this person and then they give God all this credit. God got all that credit. We don't know what lust factors brung y'all to this situation. And now you got this man in church sitting here telling us that he was sent. Where'd you get this nigga? Look, I'm telling you because I seen it, man. I grew up in the church and I seen it all, man. And these shorties would pray about a man, talking about a man's coming, and they be shouting and everything, bro. Come on, dog. Last time I checked, shouting ain't gonna get you no man. You feel me? And I seen that too. The closest thing that I've ever seen women do who are desperate in that type of situation, when you crying in front of the church about a man, because I haven't seen men do it. I've been in church all my life. I haven't yet to see a man stand up in the church shouting and telling the church, that God's going to send him this woman. Man, maybe you heard it, whatever, dog. Like I said, I've been in church a lot of years, nigga. Men don't get up and make themselves look like that. That's all I'm saying. If it's a very humiliating type of ordeal, if you understand what I'm saying. And if you do hear it, you might hear it from the pastor, maybe a pastor who's single. But if you did hear from a pastor that was single, it's more than likely because he's a real man of God. Because most pastors, women are flocking to them. And if he's sitting up there talking about finding the right woman, well, it's only because he even know what's going on right there in the middle of his church. You feel what I'm saying? So we can't even use that because we really don't even see these type of situations. Usually the pastor, he's usually a married man most of the time. Most of the pastors I've seen, and I know everybody always want to have some type of argumented rebuttal about it and say, they always want you to be wrong. You're the person that's edifying some shit, right? We're speaking on statistical facts, right? I mean, statistical numbers. When we talk about a certain topic, we come from a topic because statistically, this is how it goes. For a majority of the time, that's what you're dealing with, okay? So we don't give a what you seen, what you heard. Niggas is telling a story right now and listen, right? Because it's reality and it's exactly what the hell you know. So we're not going to sit here and play that game. You feel me? Because I know that there's always a rebuttal for something. It's always, it's always something that can be a controversial topic. But when you start talking about statistical numbers, we all know, the majority of things that we see and deal with, right? Right? Okay. Just like you hear, the pastor kids is the baddest kids in the church. And you might think that shit's cliche till you get to the church, right? But see, it's just certain things that we know. Now, yes, we also know that every pastor kids ain't going to be bad. But for the most part of what you know and what you experience, right? Off your own scale, statistically, we go off statistical numbers. So it ain't time to rebuttal this shit no more. When you got edifying men who get up here and start speaking facts. And the facts that I'm coming out right now is statistical proven numbers again. How God don't send nobody to your lives, but Satan does. Now, I don't know if it's a nigga down there that's playing Satan that has got his name tag Satan and got employees and he's writing them up scripts up there for them to go up there and do a job on you. Because I really don't believe that that's what's going on. For the most part, I believe that a lot of y'all let these satanic people in your life, just like the demons that you let in your life, right? So you sitting here asking God to send you somebody, this holy man, this holy woman, but then you still have these other practices that are not as holy, right? So somewhere down the line, you rather assume, God is sending you people versus you just being a little bit more lenient now with your time and your structure and your ability to follow the Spirit of God and His Word, right? Because now people want to start, they want to start falling short of the glory of God because now they want what they want for a second of time. Like I said, I don't know what lust factor brought y'all into this ordeal, but then once they get it, they want to sit there and say, God did this. God ain't do that, bro. God ain't bring this nappy head nigga in the church, bro. You just found a man, got 6 kids, and you really came back to the church talking about, God found this person for you, right? And then you watch these situations, man, but I'm just saying, I've seen a lot of situations like that. And I was just thinking of one, I was really just getting deep into the thought of it. And I'm like, man, it's terrible. It's terrible. And how can the church sit around and listen to these people who keep coming in here saying, God did this, God did that? It's got to come to a point where somebody got to stand up and say, look, man, we can't allow y'all to sit here, because this is a blame. Because at the end of the day, when this shit funk up, you ain't gonna blame that shit on God. That's something you done did. You went out there in the world. You done made yourself look foolish because you done told us this was God's work. So now everything that's going on behind the scenes, you trying to cover up, you trying to hide. Or you want to blame God. You want to blame God behind the scenes now, but you want to still sit there and worship and act as if you're that blessed, like He blessed you with this certain type of lifestyle. But when the doors is closed, you blame Him for this, you complain about that. You understand what I'm saying? I don't think that God's going to give you things that you're going to be complaining about. You understand what I'm saying? I think God will, He will supply your needs, but like I said, it's a certain part when it comes to personal things on this planet. I don't really think God gets into that business, Doc. I really don't think he does. You feel me? Why you think that why you think that the man is responsible, being accountable for certain things? Because for him to bring it to the wife's attention when he gave you the rules, I mean, dog, that's your business as a man. How you supposed to be conducting that? He ain't getting ready to go around your back and tell your woman this, that. No, he told you. You responsible for that. He ain't gonna ready to go talk to your woman doing this, all this extra stuff on that personal type time. Yes, he still is her God, of course. But when it comes to those personal matters, bro, I feel like he ain't getting involved in that. And you got to even ask the godly women, did God send you to me? Or was it your choice? You feel me? Because I'm pretty sure it was her choice. You feel me? If she came that way, if she was a godly woman and she met me, or, I'm just giving some ideas out there, man, because it's starting to sound ridiculous. It's starting to sound ridiculous how people sitting around here waiting for God to send them these people who they believe are gonna, be that light in their life. No, you gotta go out and find that, man. You got to preservation, right? And then you're gonna have to have a little patience, be consistent, understand what you're going for, and become what it is that you want. You feel me? And then you go get it. You go get it. Don't ask God for it. It's all up to you. He gave you the free will to do a lot of things right now. He gave you the ability to think, to be smart, the power to initiate even your own personal circumstances. He's sitting there like, man, I wish I could help you, but that ain't my business. You heard me? I can't just make you that person you want to be because you want to be with a type of person. You got to make you that. You got to make you that. Remember, even as a cliche term, they say birds of a feather flock together. We understand that on a statistical factor, right? As far as we see certain people that hang through experiences, we all seen a certain type of people hang with certain type of people, right? Okay. What he's saying, you want that certain type of person in your life, but you ain't looking in the mirror hard enough. You still giving yourself too much self-entitlement, too much credibility. This is why a lot of people single right now. Because y'all sitting there, y'all raising the bar so high when you ain't shit. I just want to, you feel me? Simple as that though. You ain't shit. Ain't nobody that. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, first of all, what are you trying to go for in the first place? You're trying to be this prestige person. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's time to start bringing the bar down for a lot of people. Because a part of this strong delusion that came before God's strong delusion was American mentality. Americanized mentality, Babylonian mentality. They already gained somewhat of a delusion. That's why God said he was sent to thee a strong delusion, because he knew that these niggas was already delusional. He had to emphasize strong means more than what was present. You know what I'm saying? Like you can have a regular delusion or you can have a strong delusion. The fact he had to put a strong one on him, he ain't say why. But I'm starting to peep it right now. You feel me? I'm like, look, before we got to this point, I've been realized many years these people they've been through. Whole time you get out here, you expressing real facts, real knowledge, logistics, putting things in play for them, bringing out real topics and real situations, right? So we can all understand these things as a whole, to see certain things that might just make you think like, hey, you know what? Maybe I may need to stop thinking so cliche with the rest of them. You understand? And start realizing, look, man, most of these things that need to be done in this earth for our lives is in our hands of our power, dog, that God gave us. We cannot sit here and rely on him to do everything for us, especially personal circumstances, guys. So I'm just telling you right now, he don't really get involved with that. But if you get him involved with it, he's there. Like a family that prays together stays together, right? The thing is, you already had the family. Remember, you got the family. See what I'm saying? Maybe you're going to pray for it. There's plenty of people that's praying for a family. For goodness sakes, Jesus' mother was praying to have a baby. and she ain't get it. God didn't give it to her. So Joseph went off and had a baby with somebody else. Didn't I tell you? God don't really get involved in your personal circumstances unless he really wants to, but that was his married call. That was his call. He wanted that womb to bring forth the Son of God. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how I understand that story. But at the same time, you know, it does sound a little, you know what I mean? But then if we could say it sounds crazy that Mary was able to give birth or become pregnant without the man, without having sexual intercourse with the man, right? And a lot of people have a trouble over that topic. And I even asked God myself, I was like, man, well, I don't want to believe it. I don't believe it unless you know, because it don't make sense, right? I told that God to it straight up, bro. And he hit me something in the spirit. But then at the same time, how did he make Adam out of clay? Dirt, dust, whatever. You can make a man out of dust and dirt and then pull a whole woman. And we're going to believe this. I don't know why we can't believe that. But let's just go a little bit more throat if we talking throat, right? Because a lot of people don't believe that Mary conceived without, you know, sexual sin, that's per se, right? And I think she was. Well, that's what the Bible says, right? I follow the Bible. I follow his word. That's what's in the word. I got no choice but to follow it. So I got no choice but to believe it. I'm not going to go against it because it said, do not add nor take away from this word. For me not to believe it would be for me to be taking it away. So I'm not going to take it away, but I just want to get a little bit more elaborated on the topic if we're going to think that that's so throw for a woman to just conceive without that. You feel me? The thing was, God chose Mary. That Mary, she was the only woman who've ever done such a thing. That's the reason why that was a whole miraculous story in the first place. It had to be a miracle for a woman to give birth. A miracle, Pete, remember? So we ain't listening to this whole, oh, we don't need men to give birth because science is this, that. Listen, stop. It took a miracle by God, right? Same way people in down on this earth to make some shit like that happen because it ain't happened ever since, right? And they even said that the blood they found that might have been on Jesus' robe or whatever had only one chromosome or whatever. I don't even believe none of that. Which could line up to correlate to the truth, but show me. You feel me? Other than that, if it's too miraculous that it becomes unbelievable, then how the hell are we supposed to get ushered? You know, our bodies being transformed in a blink of an eye. You know, all this shit sound unbelievable, huh? I'm talking about everything miraculous, right? Physically sounds unbelievable. Well, then we talking about parting waters. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We raising from the dead, walking on water, and I mean, for goodness sakes, look at the kind of baby that came out the womb that they said a man didn't touch, right? Look who the baby is, right? So we still got to believe that it came like we did, right? I don't believe that, my nigga. I can't believe that. The fact that we came through sinful nature strips us from our perfection off the rip. We ain't never walking on water down here. Jesus said we'd be able to do greater works than him. I don't know how. You are a whole miracle baby. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, he did the work as a man. He walked there. He died on the cross getting the job done because he was a man. So, you know, not to take away from anything, it still proved that he walked this earth as a man with being that holy one at the same time. Just showing that as a man, we still could get these things done. As a man, these are still the things that we could do or would have to go through, certain things, the persecution, blah, 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 blah. He was setting a clear example as far as carrying the cross. And for the most part, who should be carrying it? You dig? I mean, whoever he gave the word to, that's who's going to have to carry the cross and the burdens that come with it. A cross, you know what I'm saying? It's I use it like Planet Fitness. You feel me? And I see that all these little people pretend to be the little weights on your bar. You know, and you get to choose the bar, how high you gonna set it, and you also can choose how many weights you gonna put on there. Remember, they just weights. They get touched. They don't move unless we say so. You heard? And then we pick them up. We use them for what we gonna utilize for us to get stronger. Then we just put them back in their place. You heard? Planet Fitness, nigga. Get used to it. So carry your cross, man. Get your guns up. Till next time, it's your boy Don Illuminati, man. Get at me. Peace.